Hello everybody and welcome back to Heavy Rain.
Only a few hours left before Sean Mars dies. Hope I'm not wasting my time. John Shepard died 30 years ago. Hope his mother has all the answers to this puzzle.
Hello, I'm looking for Anne Shepard's room.
Please sign the visitor's book.
I wonder how many people are going to be here already.
Are you a member of the family?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, she'll be pleased to have a visitor. No one ever comes to see her.
Oh.
With the Alzheimer's, she has trouble remembering things, but it'll still please her. You know. It's room 19 at the end of the corridor.
Thank you.
Room 19. Where is that?
That's room 8. We're not allowed to just walk to any room.
Room 19. Where is that?
$17. It's up here somewhere. $19. There we go.
Hello, Mrs. Shepard.
Is it time for my pills already?
Oh.
No, Mrs. Shepard,
They're never on time with my pills. I don't know what they do here. In the other hospital, they were always on time. But here...
My name is Madison Page. I'm a journalist. I'd like to ask you some questions about your son.
I don't like this hospital. The food isn't very good, you know.
Oh, we're not going to get much out of her, I don't think.
Try to remember, Mrs. Shepard. John's twin brother was placed with a foster family after the accident. What was the name of the foster family?
I asked them for a television, you know. They said I didn't have enough money. It's a pity. I'm fond of television.
Do you remember John?
My Johnny. He is a good little boy, you know.
Your other son, Mrs. Shepard, John's twin brother. What was his name?
What other son? Look, I have no other son. I never had any children.
You had a son named John, and John had a twin brother.
Do you have my pills? It's time for my pills.
I know what happened at Carnaby Square.
There's an origami figure on there.
Carnaby Square. I think I used to live there a long time ago. We didn't have much money at the time, you know. We had to make do with very little.
Are you going to get much off her, are we?
I think your son is in trouble, Mrs. Shepard. He's done some terrible things. I need to find him. Do you understand?
Terrible things you're telling me. He never came to see me, can you believe it? In 10 years, never. No one forgets their mother, do they?
Mrs. Shepard, your son may be linked to a series of murders. Perhaps you have some information that could help the investigation.
Are you a new nurse? Where are my pills?
She's not going to know until we actually can get something for her. We're not going to find anything else, are we? Origami
Did you make
figures.
these origami figures?
My little paper animals. They played with them for hours. I showed my boys how to make them, you know.
Yes, your boys, Mrs. Shepherd. John and... what was your other son's name again?
My other son? I only
John.
have one son. My little Johnny.
She doesn't even remember the other one.
Alright, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here. It'd take days, if not longer, to find the name of the family that adopted her son. Sean Mars would be dead by then. This woman might be the origami killer's mother. Must be some way to get her to remember.
Drugs.
Alright, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here. Alright, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here.
Not gonna sign it. Not gonna find anything else out. How can we get a food? It's not gonna help her remember, is it? There's gotta be a reason for us being here. It can't just be a waste of time.
Does Mrs. Shepherd ever talk about her past?
It's not all very clear to her now. Sometimes she'll remember the oddest things, though. I suppose if she sees something that reminds her of her past.
Does she get many visitors?
She's been here for 10 years and you're the first.
That's sad. That is really sad.
I'm looking for her other son. He was adopted. I mean, he's probably changed his name. Is there any official documentation on Mrs. Shepherd?
No, there's nothing really. Nothing about her family. I guess if her son was adopted, then she's the only one who could tell you about that. Sometimes, if you show her things, it seems to trigger a memory from her past. You might get it to remember.
Thanks
What?
for the advice.
Must have something linked to her son's accident in here. A picture or something. She said she loved flowers. But what kind?
Oh, there's flowers down there. Let's just take them ones. The only ones around.
Show her things that take her back. Her kids loved origami. Perhaps if I made a figure for her.
Take one of them. Not this way.
She said she loved flowers. But what kind?
Maybe this will do it. I don't know.
What a lovely orchid. My sons loved orchids. We used to grow them in the back. When John died, I laid orchids on his grave.
And now the other one's constantly doing something with drugs. He's using orchids as a drug, isn't he now? What's this? There we go,
Are these
picture.
your children, Mrs. Shepherd? John and his brother? Is that them?
They're good little boys. Their father never looked after them, always drinking. They didn't have an easy life, you know.
Absolutely nothing. try origami now. Maybe I use... Yeah, maybe I can make one, yeah. Hummingbird. Dog. Try this one. Just remember it. She ain't gonna remember this.
I love origami, but that's not my favorite one.
What is? Hang on. Can I give that one? Can I give one of these? Okay, so we'll just make them all, screw it. Let's make them all, see what she does.
Oh, you know how to do these little dogs too. My children loved origami. I taught them how to do it. John loved the little dogs. He always wanted to call them Max. Max, Max, Max. All dogs with the same name. I was wasting my time telling him they couldn't all have the same name. But he always wanted his paper dogs Max. It's funny, isn't it? I cried when they told me. I'd already lost one of my children, and now they were taking away another one, you understand.
The foster family, Mrs. Shepherd. What was the name of the foster family that adopted John's brother?
They were really very nice people. I met them, you know. In the beginning, I used to go and see my little boy. And then I got sick and I couldn't go any longer. Perhaps he thought I'd forgotten him.
Poor woman.
He must have thought I didn't love him anymore.
His name, Mrs. Shepherd. What was his name?
But I loved him. If you only knew how much I missed him.
Please, Anne. His name. What was his name?
Come closer.
She knows. Who is it? Don't leave us in suspense. Who is it? Who is it? And what was alright? Is it the police detective? Oh, they're just gonna leave us in suspense, aren't they? The last letter's 961 Rainbow. Okay. What? Where are we?
The last origami figure. The last trial.
He's just wrecked in it at this point, bless him. Every other dad that's taken this trial, taken all the trials, has ended up dying. What the freaking heck is this? This is weird. What is this madness?
The last trial. the last question. Are you prepared to give your life to save your son? There is a deadly poison in this vial. It will kill you in exactly 60 minutes. If you drink it,
What?
you will get the last letters of the address. You will have enough time to save your son and say goodbye to him, but then you will die.
What?
You can drink the vial or decide to leave. The choice is yours.
Let's see what happens when we leave. Bye. Bye. Screw you, we're not playing your stupid little game. Leave.
I'll find you, Sean. I'll figure out a way and I'll come and get you, son.
We're not playing your game. Madison knows who it is. The only way to do this is Madison. Get to Madison.
I can't find him! Where are you, Sean? Where are you?
There's no point in you dying and then not finding your son anyway. We haven't got all the letters. Even with the 2 last letters that we'd have got with that, it still wouldn't have filled up the entire thing. One of these is going to find the son. He's probably going to get teared to pieces now. But Madison knows.
We've only got a few more hours left to save Sean Mars. There has to be a goddamn clue somewhere. It's probably staring me in the face. This kid's gonna die, and I'm going around in circles!
All packed up and ready to go?
What are you talking about?
The investigation's over. We know who did it. We no longer need your services anymore, Norman. So you can ride your files all the way back to Washington. I'd be lying if I said I was gonna miss you.
It's you, you jerk.
The investigation isn't over. You have absolutely nothing on Mars.
Mars
Damn.
is guilty. Case closed. Anyway, it's no concern of yours now. You're off the case. So pack up and fuck off.
It's you, mate. Gotta be you.
Blake, you are an unbalanced, psychopathic asshole.
I'm sure it's you.
I'll take that as a compliment. Honestly, I don't give a shit what you think. I found the origami killer. Everyone's happy. End of story. Have a nice trip back, Norman.
I still think it's him. He's too psychotic. It's got. Who else could it be if it's not him? So the only thing that pointed me towards the private investigator was the typewriter. He hasn't been a bad person, apart from that.
The killer's name is here. Somewhere in this data. I just have to find it.
We need to find his name.
It's too late.
Oh, one last thing, sir. You should be careful not to overindulge in no one. It can be dangerous.
It's gonna kill him.
Very dangerous.
This is gonna kill him.
Killing you if you're not careful.
This is gonna kill him.
That would be most unfortunate, sir.
Jeez, he's gonna kill him. Clues.
Ari was in record mode when I was fighting with the killer. Perhaps there's something on. sword was already in Paco's office. It's got nothing to do with the killer.
A watch.
I'm sure I've seen this before somewhere.
It's in the station. Whose is it?
The watch they give for promotions to lieutenant. The killer is a cop.
The lieutenant.
The gun the killer left at the Blue Lagoon. Perhaps there's some way of tracing its history. Impounded in a police case 5 years ago. The gun is still supposed to be in police custody. Who checked it out? If not a cop.
Exactly, somebody did. It's gotta be him, it's gotta be him. It's bloody him, I swear, it's gotta be. That jerk.
2 receipts from the same gas station. Might be near the killer's home. The killer lives in this zone. 342 people live around there. Not good enough. Gotta find a means of identifying the killer more precisely.
What police officers live there?
Ugh, that doesn't get us anywhere.
This ain't gonna work. Oh, kid.
Looks like the killer is a cop. Carter Blake! That would explain the dead-end investigation and his desire to frame Ethan Mars.
Investigate further.
Cop. There's only one cop in that geoprofiling zone. Gotcha. He owns a warehouse on the docks. If I'm wrong, Sean Mars is dead.
It's him? It's him. Son of a bitch. See what needs a kid.
I'll get help. Just hang on. Go on, hurry. I think the water's rising. I'm hurrying. I'll be right back. Gotta find someone. The water's still rising. John won't be able to hang on for long. Dad, I've got to get Dad. He's the only one who can save John. Gotta move. This place is completely deserted. There's no one around to help. Need to get help fast. John's gonna drown. John's gonna drown. Hold on, bro. I'll find... Dad, it's John. He found your bud. He's
Get out of here, you little pet. Leave me alone.
Come, Dad. Come on. John's gonna die. John's gonna
This man's a jerk. It is tragic.
I tried, John. I really tried. But he wouldn't come. Please don't die, John. Please. Don't forget about my scar.
Wow.